Well, life and career pivots, they happen to most of us, and if you plan it out right, it can be a roadmap to your best life.
That is so true. And here to tell us how we can learn from some famous second acts is lifestyle host and podcaster Christina Daves. Welcome, Christina.
Hi, ladies. Welcome, Kimberly.
Thank you.
Excited
My first 3 p.m. shows. I'm very excited.
Yeah.
We had some great guests here.
Yes.
Now, you recently interviewed Joanne Lipman, the author of Next. And
yes.
she has it right here. You can take a look at what the book jacket looks like and explores the power of reinvention. I love that word so much. So why did this book resonate so much with you and your audience, you think?
You have interviewed so many women, I think 125 women now. And she breaks it into stages. And these women that I interviewed are going through these stages. And there's so many of us over 50 who are having reinventions.
Yeah, and that's a good thing. It can be a great thing. Yes, because a lot of us, we've raised our children, so that, stage may be, coming to an end or changing a little bit. So we do want to kind of pivot and maybe, focus on what we want to do. So let's talk about that roadmap. There's 4 stages.
4 steps.
Okay.
So the first one is search. Okay. So what lights you up? Like, what do you get excited about? What is it that, and it might not be what you've been doing before.
Right, yes, okay, that's a good point.
So then you have the struggle where it's like, ooh, I really like that, but maybe I shouldn't be doing that, but I want to do that. And then she has the stop. And this is where life changes. It could be a loss of a job, it could be a death, it could be a divorce. COVID was a stop. Think of all the people who reinvented during COVID. And then you have the solution. Then you have the aha moment of, oh my gosh, I've got this figured out. This is what I want to do. This is my next chapter.
And sometimes maybe that search might take a little while, right? I mean, some people might not know exactly where that, passion may lie, right?
Right, and she called like the struggle's that messy middle where you're torn between, oh, I've always done it this way, but I think I want to do this. I think this is where I belong. But you have to go through that process. But then when you get to the end, that solution, that's when you get to start over.
Yeah, this resonates a lot with me, because I'm in that age group and I'm starting this new position.
Today,
today this is a new beginning. This is a new pivoting. So this really does ring true for me.
Yeah.
And that you don't have to do things the way that you've always done them.
Right.
You can reinvent yourself, and that can always change.
Yeah.
So let's talk about some reinvention stories. Who were some people that really stood out to you?
She had some great ones in the book. James Patterson. The writer, right? So he was an advertising executive.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I didn't either.
Yes, he wrote books on the side. His first review, they said his book was abysmally dull. And he was like,
not good to hear.
No, so he didn't even stop his job till he was in his 50s. The man has sold 400 million books, and he didn't do it until then. Vera Wang, we all know Vera Wang, designed her first wedding gown at 40.
Wow.
Right?
Yeah.
And then I interviewed Carla Hall, the celebrity chef. She really didn't start till her late 40s. She was a CPA.
Oh, complete flip.
Yeah. So, and then she loved cooking and started a catering business and went all in for 5 years, and then she had her aha.
Yeah. You were talking about like reinvention. It's not necessarily a straight line. And you mentioned COVID, you mentioned a divorce, you mentioned, being, fired from your job. All of these things could be really devastating for people. But I think that that's important for us to all talk about, is that stop might just be, that fire that you may need. Don't let it, stop you.
Right.
And, don't think that this is the end, because it can be a really beautiful beginning.
Yes. And I always talk about on the podcast too, again, in interviewing so many women with reinvention stories, we're building on things. So it's not a waste what you did before. You're just using that as your building block to your next thing.
It's made you who you are, because we would not be who we are without those experiences, the good, the bad, the
And
ugly.
I was going to say, and that includes failure. We're all going to fail.
Well, you learn something when you fail.
Every time.
Right, exactly. So we need the failures in order to be successful, because then we didn't learn anything.
Right.
So there's so many great messages. Is there one specific message that you want women over the age of 50 to come away with?
Really, anything is possible. It really is. And she talks about this too in the book. Visualize yourself in that. And I was talking to Natalie earlier. I'm in one of these pivots right now, And it's pretty exciting. And I never thought at 58 I would be on TV talking about my podcast,
But look
having
at
a
you now.
podcast. Here I am.
Right. Yes, I know. So you
Yes.
just never know what life is going to bring
right.
you. I love
Yes.
that.
Yeah.
All right. So we can listen to the podcast. It's on online right now.
Yep.
Okay.
Perfect.
Living
Living
Ageless and Bold podcast.com.
Yes.
Excuse me. I'm sorry.
No.
You're also all over the TikToks and the Instagrams and all the socials too.
TikTok, if you're on TikTok, I've started one for women over 50. And
I love
it's
it.
really
and that will
popular.
get me more on TikTok now.
Yes,
I gotta get on it.
There's a big crowd, women over 50.
I love it.
I got to get on it.
Christina.
All right. Thank you, Christina.
Thanks, ladies.
Thank you so
All right.
much.
Okay.
Very inspiring. Yeah.